Hello and welcome. Find a comfortable spot, close your eyes and allow your body to relax. Tonight we drift back in time, not to the grand castles of shoguns or the dramatic battles of samurai, but to the bustling, lively streets of Edo, the city we now know as Tokyo. We're going on a gentle journey to discover the forgotten street foods of this incredible period, a time of peace and flourishing culture that lasted from 1603 to 1868. Imagine the city of Edo, a sprawling metropolis, one of the largest in the world at the time. Its streets are a labyrinth of wooden houses and shops, teeming with over 1 million people. The air is filled with a symphony of sounds, the chatter of merchants, the laughter of children, the rhythmic clack of wooden sandals on the dusty ground, and woven through it all is a tapestry of delicious aromas. This is where our story begins, with the humble yet essential street food vendors, known as yatai. These vendors were the heart of Edo's culinary scene. They operated from small portable wooden stalls, often with a simple cloth banner or norin flapping in the breeze, announcing their specialty. They were masters of efficiency, cooking up quick, affordable and incredibly tasty meals for the city's busy population. Samurai on their way to serve their lords, merchants rushing to their next deal, and common laborers taking a well-deserved break, everyone relied on these street-side chefs. Let's begin our stroll. As we wander, the first enticing smell that reaches us is something sweet and savory. We follow our noses to a vendor skillfully grilling small round dumplings on a charcoal brazier. These are dango, but not just any dango. These are mitarashi dango, skewered rice dumplings coated in a glossy, sweet soy glaze. The vendor dips the freshly grilled dumplings into a pot of simmering sauce, a perfect balance of soy sauce, sugar, and starch. The gentle heat from the grill has given them a slightly crispy exterior, while the inside remains wonderfully soft and chewy. He hands you a skewer, still warm. The flavor is a delightful surprise, a comforting blend of smoky, sweet, and salty. It's a simple snack, but one that brings immediate comfort and satisfaction. Moving on, we hear a rhythmic chopping sound. It's a vendor preparing one of the most popular fast foods of the era, sushi. Now, the sushi of Edo is quite different from what we know today. It was originally a preservation method, with fish fermented in rice. But in Edo, a new, faster style emerged. This was nigiri sushi, invented by a clever vendor named Hanaya Yohei. He would take a small, hand-pressed mound of vinegared rice and top it with a slice of fresh fish, caught that very morning from Edo Bay. It was the ultimate fast food, quick to make, easy to eat with your hands, and bursting with the fresh flavor of the sea. There were no elaborate restaurants. You'd simply stand at the stall, point at the fish you wanted, and the vendor would craft it for you in seconds. It was a food for the people, accessible and delicious. As we continue our journey, another scent drifts towards us, this one distinctly savory and rich. It's the smell of simmering broth. We've arrived at an oden stall. Oden is a classic Japanese comfort food, a one-pot dish where various ingredients are slowly simmered in a light soy-flavored dashi broth. In the simmering pot, you can see an assortment of items: pearly white daikon radish that has become soft and translucent, deep-fried tofu pockets called aburage, fish cakes in various shapes, and boiled eggs that have absorbed the flavorful broth. The vendor uses long chopsticks to pick out the items you choose, placing them in a bowl and ladling over some of the fragrant broth. A dab of sharp karashi mustard on the side completes the dish. Each bite is a warm, gentle hug, a perfect remedy for a cool evening. The subtle flavors of the dashi have permeated every ingredient, creating a harmonious and deeply satisfying meal. Now let's turn down a slightly quieter lane. Here, a vendor is selling something called butterfury. These vendors were often called pot swingers because they carried their wares on a pole balanced over their shoulders, with a pot of hot food swinging from one end. What's inside? A hearty stew of vegetables, tofu, and sometimes bits of fish or meat, all simmering in a savory broth. The butterfury would wander the residential neighborhoods, calling out to announce his arrival. Housewives and children would emerge from their homes with their own bowls, which the vendor would fill for a small price. It was the original food delivery service, bringing warm, home-style cooking directly to the people. It was a system built on trust and community, a familiar and welcome sight in the neighborhoods of Edo. As the sun begins to set, casting long shadows across the streets, the lanterns of the yatai begin to glow, creating a magical atmosphere. We're drawn to a stall where a vendor is deftly flipping something on a large, flat griddle. It's hirayachi, a simple, savory pancake from Okinawa that found its way to the streets of Edo. The batter is a basic mix of flour, water, and eggs, with chopped green onions and sometimes small bits of seafood or vegetables mixed in. The vendor pours the batter onto the hot oiled griddle, spreading it thin. It sizzles and cooks quickly, becoming golden and slightly crispy at the edges. He cuts it into squares, drizzles it with a bit of soy sauce, and serves it hot. It's simple, unpretentious, and utterly delicious. A quick, satisfying snack to enjoy as the city transitions from day to night. Of course, no tour of Edo street food would be complete without something for the sweet tooth. We find a vendor specializing in amaguri, or roasted sweet chestnuts. The air around his stall is thick with the sweet, nutty aroma of chestnuts being roasted in a large pan with small black pebbles. The pebbles help to distribute the heat evenly, roasting the chestnuts to perfection. The vendor uses a large shovel to continuously toss them, and every so often a chestnut will pop open with a soft crackle, revealing its golden yellow meat. He scoops a handful into a small paper bag for you. They are still hot to the touch. You carefully peel away the shell to reveal the soft, sweet, and floury chestnut inside. It's a simple, natural sweetness, a perfect end to our culinary exploration. There were so many other forgotten treats. Imagine vendors selling grilled eel on skewers, glazed with a sweet and savory sauce, or tokoroten, a refreshing, translucent jelly made from seaweed, served chilled with vinegar and soy sauce, the perfect way to cool down on a hot summer's day. There were also sellers of chilled watermelon slices, a welcome and hydrating treat during the humid Edo summers. Each dish tells a story of ingenuity, of making the most of local, seasonal ingredients, and of a culture that deeply appreciated the simple pleasure of a good meal. These street foods were more than just sustenance. They were the fabric of daily life. The yatai stalls were community hubs where people from all walks of life would gather, share a quick meal, and exchange news. They were a reflection of the spirit of Edo itself, dynamic, practical, and full of life. Many of these foods have evolved into the Japanese cuisine we know today, but some have faded into the pages of history, existing only in old illustrations and descriptions. As our gentle walk through the streets of Edo comes to an end, take a final moment to soak in the atmosphere. The warm glow of the lanterns, the distant murmur of the city, the lingering, delicious scents in the air. These forgotten foods remind us that history isn't just about emperors and battles. It's also about the everyday lives of ordinary people and the simple joys that connect us all across time. The taste of a warm dango, the comfort of a bowl of oden, the satisfying sweetness of a roasted chestnut. These are the flavors of a lost world, a delicious dream of old Japan. Now let your mind drift, carried away by these gentle thoughts. Allow the peace and tranquility of this bygone era to guide you into a deep and restful sleep. Thank you for joining me on this journey tonight. I hope you enjoyed this little taste of history. If you'd like to explore more stories from the past, please consider following and subscribing for more peaceful journeys. Sleep well.